Where's my star? What side's the star? Where's the badge?
Your medal's over your left shoulder.
Look at it, baby. It
Whatever,
feels good.
dude. It's 1 week. It's 1 week, all right? One game, 1 week. It's early yet, all right? Don't worry
It
about it.
feels good.
Whatever. Since you brought it up, though, let's go ahead and just bring the recap up. We can show it to the people.
Show it to the people.
Scott won by 1 game. He's 6-6. I'm 5-7.
Let's go.
Still early. Still early. Plenty of time, and we got a couple head-to-heads here tonight, Scott. So there's potential for movement over the next week. All right.
It
So
feels good to be on top, baby.
don't get too cocky. Don't get too cocky. But since you're on top, pause. I'm gonna let you take the first game here and lead us off.
All right. I'll take the first game here. I see Mr. Butts in the chat here, so he'll appreciate this game. So first game we got the Lions and the Bucs. Here's what I think. I think that Baker Mayfield played a great game last week against a subpar Washington team. And Washington, what they did, they were able to pass on the Bucs. Or excuse me, other way around. They were able to rush on the Bucs. Jaden Daniels had 2 rushing touchdowns, rookie quarterback. And the Lions were able to rush and throw the ball. And what I think is going to happen is I think the Lions are going to be too much for the Bucs this week. I like the Lions. Like I said last week, they are my Super Bowl favorite this year. I know people are a little shocked by that, but I think that Goff can get it done. He's got the talent around him to outscore teams. Their defense needs to pick it up a little bit, but at 7.5, it's a lot of points, but I'm going to trust in Detroit here, which is what most people will not do. But I'm going to trust in Detroit and take them at -7.5.
All right, I'm not mad at that. I'm gonna go with the over in this pick. I think it's gonna be a lot of points. You mentioned the 7.5. I just think it's gonna be offense, offense, offense. You looked at Baker Mayfield last week. Looked like the Browns made a massive, massive mistake in signing Deshaun or doing what they did with Deshaun Watson and sending him out of there.
Fully guaranteed.
24 for 30, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Baker absolutely carved them apart. And then on the Lions, on the flip side, they had a lot of emotion in that game last week. Matt Stafford coming back for his second revenge game, second attempt at revenge. So there were a lot of emotions there. They were running high, but Detroit's still going to be vibing. That place is absolutely energized. They believe this is the year for the Lions. It very well could be. I have the Lions going pretty far. So I'm with you. I definitely think the Lions should cover this game. But that point 0.5 hook, that's what's keeping me away. So yeah, I'm on the over.
Fair. The .5 scares me. It's the Lions, right? They had to go to overtime to win the game last week, and that's what the Lions like to do. They like to go down to the last second, last minute, kick a field goal, win the game. So 7.5's a lot, but let's get it done.
I like it. All right, moving on. So next we got the Rams taking the trip to Arizona. This one is super surprising to me because of the spread. So the Cardinals are the favorite right now. They're 1.5, I think, at some books. Over under sitting at 48.5. For me, this is a no-brainer. Okay, this is don't overthink it. Like I get it. The Rams are kind of down. Puka's hurt. Whatever. Cardinals trending up. Love the head coach. Head coach at 100% was the right fit for the Cardinals. He's getting them playing, getting the most out of them. However, I'm going with the numbers. All right. The NFL is a league that's all about numbers. Okay. The Rams are 13-2 in their last 15 games against the Cardinals. So you're telling me I'm going to get a point with that on my side? Yes, give me the Rams. I will take the Rams +1, +1.5. I will take them money line. I will take them with green eggs and ham. Give me the Rams all day long to beat the Cardinals. What say you, Scott?
I say give me the Rams with green eggs and ham. I like it.
Yeah, there we go.
Look, This spread makes no sense to me. It should be the other way. The Rams, 3 points for the Rams. For a team that can put up points on the board, they have a decent defense. 317 yards passing against the Lions. The Cardinals gave up on the Bills last week, which when you get up as an offense, your defense needs to step up and just maintain. You don't have to dominate. You just need to maintain, and they gave up is what it looked like to me against the Bills, and they blew that game. So, yes, the Rams don't have Puka. He's hurt for I don't know how many weeks. He's on the IR officially. So Puka, you know what? You don't need Puka. You got Kupp. People forgot about him. He's pretty good. He's going to have another 10 reception, 100-plus yard game. Yeah. Give me the veterans leading the Rams to a victory here over a young Cardinals team that looks promising. But give me the Rams. Give me the point. You said it. It's a free point. This one I like a lot, which scares me, but I love this one. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, so also you mentioned Puka again. So let me just reiterate. That was my first-round pick in fantasy. This trophy you see right here, that league, that's my first-round pick, Puka. Not great. 0-1 to start the year, so he's got to get right pretty quickly, or my team's going to be in last place. All right, moving on. So we're talking Saints, Cowboys next. This is, even though they're not really traditional rivals, this is a rivalry just based off of location and how close these two teams are together. I wish we had our guy Greg in the chat right now. It doesn't look like he's in here yet, but shout out to our guys who are in the chat. Public House, I see you. Gator Dave, Scott, Matt, Caleb, Navaski, I see you, my brother, with the Dolphins. Just want to shout y'all out real quick. But this one's going to be ugly, okay? This one's not going to be a good game to watch for either team. This is going to be a frustrating game for both teams. This is going to be a game that it's going to look like one team's going to win, and then 5 minutes later it's going to look like the other team's going to win, and it's going to do that for 60 minutes of football, okay? I think the difference in this one is the fact that the Cowboys are playing at home, and also the fact that they got those contract deals finally done. I think that weight is off their shoulders. You're going to get the most. The biggest surprise for me from the Cowboys, okay, out of everything that I saw was Ezekiel Elliott lost his Gucci belly, okay? It's gone. It's gone. He's looking like rookie Ezekiel again. I think the Cowboys handle the Saints in this one. Everybody's going to be riding high on the Saints. They changed their offense. Derek Carr looked great last week. I get it. It was the Carolina Panthers. Everybody's going to look good against the Carolina Panthers this week. Okay? The Cowboys faced the Browns. Great defense in Cleveland. Handled them. Shut down that offense. Give me the Cowboys to handle the Saints in this game. -6.5. What say you, Scott?
I say you're crazy. I say 6.5 points for a team that just put up 47. Now, don't get me wrong. It was against the Panthers. Our boy Travis, I'm really sorry they did that to you. Depressed all Sunday, but you know what? It is what it is. I don't think they're going to put up 47 on the Cowboys, but the Saints can score. Derek Carr looks relaxed. He's got players around him. They've got a decent defense. And you're over here talking about the Cowboys.
You're getting blinded. It's the Panthers.
No.
You're missing the bigger picture here. It's like you're looking through the binoculars, and you're not seeing the tree in front of your face. All right,
you're crazy.
It's
you're
right
lucky.
there.
You're lucky for everyone. Hey, I apologize for my background. I'm traveling. I'm in a hotel tonight, and you're lucky I'm in a hotel, and I'm not yelling at the screen right now because you're a madman. You're crazy. You know what the Cowboys do? They choke. That's what the Cowboys do. In big games, they choke. They're not going to get it done. You talking about the Cowboys' offense is looking fantastic and shutting down a Cleveland Browns offense that is just poopy, just straight turd water. And they got a guy that's playing quarterback for them that has nothing to play in Cleveland. We're not even going to talk about Cleveland. We're done with Cleveland. You're crazy. Give me the Saints, 6.5 in Jerry World. They're going to give that guy a heart attack. In his home field, he's going to watch him choke again, just like the Cowboys have done time after time after time.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Next game, hitting close to your home here, literally and figuratively. We got the
That's right. I'll
Steelers.
take it from here, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Steelers in Denver. Last week, Miami Mike tried to tell me we couldn't get it done. He tried to tell me the Falcons beefed up their team and they were too good. But let me tell you something. We might not have scored an offensive touchdown, but we kicked 6 field goals, baby. The Boz will lead us home, and he's coming to Denver. Our punter did get hurt, but Boz can do it all. We're coming to Denver. Bo Nix, the Broncos, they don't look that good. Look like they got a little confident in the preseason. Our defense looks great. The refs might hate TJ Watt, but he will find a way. The ball don't lie. He will get his hands on the ball. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to score a touchdown this game. It's only going to take us 2 weeks this year to score an offensive touchdown, and we're going to do it in the first half of the football game. Give me the Steelers. I think the spread is down to 2.5. Drink one. You tried to tell me to take a money line, but I want him at 2.5 because Boswell's getting another 4 at least.
Okay.
My boys are coming to town. I got the Steelers flag is going to be flying this weekend in my neighborhood. Let all the Broncos fans know. Give me the Steelers. We're starting 2-0.
Yeah, I agree. It's the Steelers is the play. I am taking the money line though. I'm not playing around with that 2.5 points because this game is going to be 15-13. I could totally see Boswell hitting another 5 field goals, Bo Nix getting lucky, getting the touchdown, or the defense getting one, or something crazy. 15-13. It's going to be low scoring. Give me the Steelers. It's going to be ugly. I want nothing to do with this game. This will be an NFL red zone game, and that's it. If you put this on your TV and you're not a Steelers or a Broncos fan, you're a sick person, and you need to seek help. Okay?
Hey, listen.
That's it.
I predicted it last week. I told you that Falcons game was going to be 16-10. It ended up 18-10. This week, I like the Steelers 24-17 if anyone's interested in a exact score bet, and there's also going to be a defensive touchdown by the Steelers.
There's no way the Steelers score 20 points, let alone 24. No way.
No, our offense is going to score 17 points, and our defense is taking one
as a team. As a team, you're not hitting that 20 mark.
Do you want a little friendly wager?
Nope. All right, moving on here. We got the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams making the way down to Houston to take on the Texans. Texans are favored by 6 right now. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I love the Texans in this spot. I think 6 is money in the bank. CJ Stroud, he's going to get it right. They're back home. Joe Mixon looked great in week 1. You got the Bears too. Think about where the Bears were, at halftime against those Titans. They couldn't do anything on offense. Their defense looked atrocious. And then all of a sudden in the second half, the Titans head coach actually made a comment. He was like, if we would have just punted the ball on first down for the rest of the game, we probably would have won because their offense literally was just handing the Bears turnover after turnover. It led to a pick 6 at one point by Tyreek Stevenson. And that was ultimately the game for the Bears. So I don't think that's going to happen against the Texans. I think last week was a fluke. I think this is more of a reality check for the Bears. I think the Texans handle the Bears. I think it's like 31-10. I think it's ugly. Give me the Texans. This is a lock for me. What do you think, Scott?
I hate that this keeps happening, but you mentioned it earlier. When you have some of these matchups, it's just bound to happen. But I'm with you. I think the Texans went out there. Nico had 117 yards receiving. Diggs only had 33 yards receiving, but got it done where it mattered with 2 touchdowns. Tank Dell was out there. Joe Mixon got in the, everything's working for them right now. They've got too much going for them. And to your point, I think the Bears are a little trash. They played a Tennessee team. They got a horrible pick 6. Levis had no business throwing that ball. They had a blocked a kick taken back for a touchdown. Offensive, didn't score any points besides a 2-point conversion for the Bears last week, and they had 24 up on the board. It's not going to happen again against Houston. Give me Houston. I think this turns out to be something like the Saints and the Panthers next week. I agree. I think they get worked.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, moving on. We got Raiders making the way out to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Um, what's the spread right now? It looks like 8.5. Yeah, and the total is 41.5. So it's a lot of points. It's a lot of points for this Ravens team. They did not look good week one. Mark Andrews went from tight end one to tight end two, fullback almost. I mean, he was just strictly blocking for the most part until they needed some passes towards the end of that game against Kansas City. Isaiah Likely looks like he's going to be the guy moving forward. They have weapons on offense. Zay Flowers. Um, I just don't know if this defense is going to be able to get it to go where they need it to be as soon as they need it to. This Raiders offense is going to come in. They're feeling pretty good. Gardner Minshew did not have a bad game in week one. He's going to feed Devontae Adams. It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. I'm going to go with the Ravens in this one, minus the 8.5, but I'm a little shaky on this one. I think Max Crosby is going to give Lamar Jackson all sorts of problems. Antonio Pierce is going to have something ready for him. But I'm going to take Harbaugh in this spot with the Ravens at home. Scott, what say you?
I say that nothing brings me more joy in this world than the Ravens losing a game, besides maybe Cincinnati and the Browns losing a game, and they all lost. So it was a fantastic day to be a Steelers fan. But I understand what you're saying. The Ravens, do they have a defense that can help them maintain their offensive struggles at times? I don't know. I do not think, however, the Raiders can get it done against the Ravens. You're crazy. Lamar, he's too much. I do not think they're going to contain him. He ran for 122 yards on 16 carries last week, had 273 through the air with a touchdown. And like you said, Likely had 9 receptions, 111 yards, and a touchdown. Andrews wasn't involved. I think they're going to get him involved this game because people are going to be looking at Likely, Zay Flowers, and so forth. The Raiders didn't look horrible. Minshew did have a pick, 250 yards. Nothing that pops off the sheet for the Raiders. Give me the Ravens. You asked what the spread is right now. It looks like it opened up at 7.5, and now it's at 9. -9. It's a lot of points. It's scary. Give me the Ravens. They're the better team on paper. They should get it done. It's a lot of points, but it shouldn't be a problem.
All right. I like it. Moving on, we got the 49ers making the way up to Minnesota to take on the Vikings, the depleted Vikings, which didn't look so depleted week one. 49ers are favored by 6. Total on that one is 46.5. This one just smells like a trap. It just smells like a trap. Because, everything in your mind would say 49ers should be closer to like what that spread was just in that Raiders-Ravens game. It should be a little higher, right?
Boo.
Christian McCaffrey's out. Vikings, J.J. McCarthy's out. You got Sam Darnold as quarterback. Journeyman Sam Darnold. This is his last shot at potentially staying in the league, right? But he's got Kevin O'Connell, the QB whisperer that, has turned a lot of man's trash into some treasure last year, and he's doing it right now with Sam Darnold. But the 49ers are different. That's a different team to run into. It's not the Giants. It's not the Giants. I like the 49ers in this one. I think they're going to handle the Vikings. I think it's going to be very similar score-wise to what the Vikings did to the Giants last week. I think it's going to be right there, same area for 49ers versus the Vikings. I think it'll probably be slow early, but Brock Purdy, when he finds those weapons, he's still, people forget, still Kittle, still Debo, still Brandon Ayuk out there. Kyle Shanahan will find ways to get the ball into the hands of his weapons. They will be fine. Oh, yeah, and Jordan Mason, McCaffrey's backup, he went for, 150? They're going to be just fine. Don't worry about the 49ers. All they do, it's a plug-and-play system for the running backs. He's done it for years. Confident in the 49ers. This one's also a lock for me. What say you, Scott?
I say, thank God you turned your what you were talking about around with your facts because you started
You see how,
talking
you
about
see how, you see how I did that?
making the difference. You started talking about Sam Darnold bringing things back,
That's how
and
you keep them
the only thing
engaged,
the
baby.
Vikings have going for them right now is Aaron Jones does look pretty good. The fact that you only
It's
threw
true.
the ball to Jefferson, he had 4 feed him the ball, and if they're not figuring that out because Darnold had, 1 pick, 2 touchdowns, 200 yards, he played good enough to be a poopy team in the Giants. This is not the Giants.
No,
Everyone thought, including you, sir, not me. I didn't fall for the tricks. You
it's true.
thought the Jets were going to take care of business, and you
The
couldn't have been
Giants
more wrong.
and the
The
Jets.
49ers walked in there and worked them. Purdy, yes, he didn't throw a touchdown, but he had 231 yards passing. He didn't look horrible. He didn't need to throw a touchdown because Mason had 28 carries for 147 yards and a touchdown. He looked fantastic. Their offensive line dominated the Jets front, which is supposed to be one of the best fronts in the NFL, and they dominated them like little boys, little rag dolls. So I was about to say, you are a madman for even considering the Vikings have a chance here. The one thing that scares me, the one thing I do not understand, because even if because of CMC and having Achilles tendonitis and all this stuff going on, Mason played great. He looked like he belonged, and he can do it again. He's in the system, like you said. So why did the spread open up at 49ers minus 5.5, and now the spread is only at 49ers minus 6? They're going to win this game by 24 points. But I am terrified why this spread is not at least 9.5, 10 points. I have no idea why. I don't know who is traveling to the future to see what happens and then coming back to set the lines in Vegas, because it makes no fucking sense to me.
Yeah.
Sorry for the explicit language, but this is a moment.
It would have to be defense. I mean, it would have to be something on defense where, there's a pick six or a recovered fumble for a touchdown or special teams. Like it's the only way I think that this game and this momentum stays. Minnesota is making their first home game. They have great fans. They will be rowdy. It's the NFL. It's not
Rowdy.
It's not the same. It's not the same thing in the NFL. So it's going to be fine. Don't overthink it. Don't dig too deep. It's 49ers. As long as you can get 49ers, in my opinion, 6.5, maybe 7. It's all day long. All day long. When you start creeping up a little bit higher than that, yeah. All right, moving on here. So we're going Giants Commanders. So the team that we were just talking about, that the Vikings were able to handle last week on the road in the Meadowlands. They are the underdogs again, but this time they are the away team, making their way down south to Landover, Maryland, to take on the Commanders. 1.5 point underdogs. Total is sitting at 44.5. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it. I'm not taking the Giants. I am taking the Commanders. Give me Jaden Daniels. He looked shaky passing the ball, but his ability to run the football is going to open up defenses. When he gets down, the timing of it and his footwork and being able to find these receivers a little more confidently, when they bolster that O-line up a little bit, he is going to be one of the good ones. There's no doubt about it. Brian Daboll, the GM that everybody got to see on Hard Knocks over the offseason, that guy's going to get fired. All right? You let Saquon go. You pass up on Jaden Daniels. You're about to start 0-2. That owner, whoever watched Hard Knocks, you could see it in that owner's face. He was like, if you screw up this year after doing what you do, you're gone, buddy. And he is gone after they lose this game. Give me the Commanders, money line at home to get it done against the Giants. What say you, Scott?
I say another one where you're completely right. The Giants have nothing going for them. Nothing. Daniel Jones, he's not the answer. 2 picks and 186 yards. Oh, not to mention you paid him so much you can't pay anyone else on your team, and you got to let your star players go. Great job. I'm with you. He's going to get fired. Give me Washington. I like how they played. They have a young team. They've got a lot of potential. Jaden Daniels, 184 yards passing. Yes, he didn't have a passing touchdown, but he had 88 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. They also utilized Eckler out of the backfield to catch some passes, which is where he's best, in my opinion. He's shifty out of the backfield. So give me the Commanders. I think they have the better, younger team. I think they're going to dominate the Giants here. So take a money line. The Giants have nothing going for them. They have Malik Neighbors. Yeah, the guy's good, but he has no one to throw him the football. No one to throw him the football. They have no rushing attack. Their offense is lousy. Their offensive line is lousy, and their defense is subpar at best. So right now, the Giants are my poo team in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, you look at Malik Neighbors, you mentioned him, right? Like, you could already see it in that week 1 game. He was already getting frustrated. It's only week 1, and he was already getting frustrated. So
he's got a long way to go.
He has no idea what he's in for on that one. But I'm with you. I think that's the right way. So, all right, moving on here. We got, 4 games left. We're cooking. We're cooking on time. This is great. So Seahawks are making the trip east to take on the New England Patriots. Seahawks are a 3.5-point favorite. Total is, I think, 38.5, so it's a low total. Jacoby Brissett, it looked like he came away with an injury in week 1, so it'll be interesting to see if he ends up going in this one or if they do end up starting Drake May. That's something to definitely watch out for in this one. However, I am going to take the Patriots. We were talking about spread and points and how it just looks weird and it looks sketchy. This is one of those. Makes no sense. It should be closer to like 5.5 in my opinion. Seahawks are a playoff team last year. They brought back everybody. They retooled. Yes, they lost Pete Carroll. They got a new head coach. Their defense looks great. It's the offense that struggled. Geno Smith looked more like Geno Smith, not, Pro Bowl Geno Smith. DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, Tyler Lockett, Kenneth Walker looked awesome. He looked like he was in great shape. He was moving. He was fast. He was making great cuts. However, I think that the Patriots are going to be ready for that. I think they're going to find a way to make Geno throw the football, and that's going to be the downfall of the Seahawks. I think the Patriots keep it close. I think they get some sort of special teams defensive touchdown to kind of switch, keep the momentum on their side, sack Geno a bunch. If you get in Geno's face, it really kind of rattles him, and I think that's what they're going to be able to do. They're going to find success doing that. Give me the Patriots plus 3.5 here to get it done in Foxborough. What say you, Scott?
I say you're a madman, an absolute madman. You're sitting here talking about having faith. No.
Yeah.
You're a madman. You're sitting here talking about having faith in a team, the Patriots, that beat a Cincinnati team that was not playing football last Sunday. And all they did was put up 16 points. That's all they could put up against a team that wasn't playing football. The Seahawks, however, hosted a division rival in the Broncos and beat them by 6 points. Yes, they didn't cover. I know good teams win, great teams cover. But the Seahawks took care of business against a team that, in my opinion, the Broncos, is better than the Patriots in a lot of ways. Geno Smith, 1 touchdown. Well, you know what? We'll figure that out later. We'll figure it out later.
I'm looking that up.
Right now, that's what I'm saying. So, Geno, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 175 yards passing. Not the greatest passing performance. I think the Broncos have a better defense than the Patriots, but Seahawks went through, like you said, Kenneth Walker, over 100 yards and a touchdown rushing. Lockett had 6 receptions for almost 80 yards. The Patriots just were not productive besides rushing the football. And I think the difference is the Seahawks are going to get ahead early, and the Patriots will not be able to rely on their run game. They're going to have someone throw the ball, and guess what? You said it. They don't have anyone to throw the ball. That's what I think is going to be the change here. The Seahawks are going to go up early, and the Patriots will not be able to catch them because they can't throw the ball. Give me the Seahawks.
Yeah, honestly, the more I think about it, that under is tempting too. It's just very low, sitting at that 38.5, but there's not going to be a lot of offense. It's going to be. What were you saying?
Go ahead. I said it opened at 42.5, and now it's 38.5. So it's interesting.
Oh, I even see it at 37.5 right now when I was just looking up their schedule. And the Patriots do not play the Broncos, so unfortunately we are not going to have that head-to-head matchup to decide who would be better. But I think the Patriots defense is really the difference. Patriots defense is going to play, dude. But I think it's going to be low scoring, like you said. That's the thing for me, though. With these low scoring games, it can be a 17-14, and that's a cover for the Patriots. So you get into these witching hours, shout out red zone, where anything can happen. Wins become losses, losses becomes wins, So you never know. You never know. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I think they find a way. It's at home. If it was in Seattle, I think it's Seattle all day. But there's gonna be, you know what? I'm even tempted to look at the weather. It's just something. I can smell the rain. I can smell the dew in Foxborough right now. All right, it's gonna be nasty. I can feel it. I can watch. It's gonna be the most beautiful day they've had there in 10 years.
Hey,
All right.
I'm here right now, and the weather's beautiful.
See that. What's going to change? Look at your weather on your app. All right, moving on. We got Jets at the Titans. Aaron Rodgers is making his way to his second home down there in Nashville, where he almost went and signed because he's got all that land down there. But anyway, so Jets are coming in. They are the favorite in this one over the Titans, -3.5. Titans, as we talked about earlier, blew that game last week against the Bears. They had it in the bag and just couldn't get it done. Couldn't seal the win. So you can know they are riding low right now. They're down bad, and they're going to walk into the Jets, who honestly need a win. If they don't win this game, it's going to be a serious, serious uphill battle for the Jets in that division, let alone that conference. They got to get a win here. This one's important. I think the Jets find a way to get it done. I'm going to take them -3.5, just off the premise of it's just a must-win for them. I think the defense is going to come to play. Aaron Rodgers is going to do enough knowing that it is a must-win. He's got that game under his belt, under his Achilles. He's gotten hit. He's made some throws. He's had to move a little bit. I think he's a little more comfortable now. He's had more time. You got to consider, too, going back to last year, he had, 8 minutes with his teammates. He hasn't had preseason games. He hasn't had preseason games. He hasn't had game games. So he's getting these reps. He's getting familiar with what guys are going to do. That's only going to progress as the season goes along. I think we see that here, and I think they're able to get this one done. Scott, what say you?
I say this. We do not need to be relying on Aaron Rodgers to be the reason why the Jets are going to be good. He's an old man.
That's fair.
The reason the Jets are going to win this game is because they're playing my number 2 poop team, and that's Tennessee. That's the reason the Jets are going to win this game. I think the main reason is the Titans aren't going to be able to run the ball like they ran the ball last week against the Bears. Pollard, 82 yards and a touchdown. Will Levis, irrelevant, 127 yards, a touchdown, 2 atrocious picks, and their special teams was sorry. I think the difference here is the Jets defense is going to come ready to play after getting embarrassed by the 49ers, and they're going to stop the Titans' run game because the Titans do not have the offense the 49ers have, and they also don't have the running backs the 49ers have. I think that's going to be the biggest difference is the Jets defense versus a subpar Titans team, but do not look for the Jets to win 42-10. I think that they will cover 3.5. Give me the Jets -3.5, but I don't see them winning by more than 7 to 10 points, maybe. I'm not expecting the Jets to come out and just turn it on offensively. I mean, Wilson looked good, but they've got a little work to do. Aaron's got some work to do. He was doing Hiawassee all offseason, not hanging out with his teammates and learning how they play. So he's got a little work to do. But I do think the Jets are going to handle the Titans, and this will be from start to finish, no-brainer, Jets -3.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking like 17-13, 24-20, that kind of score.
3.5 spread. I don't like when people go say 4 points at 3.5 spread.
ABGBs. All right, moving on. So we got 2 games left now. Last 2, We got Bengals making the way to Kansas City. Kansas City is a 5-point favorite. Over-under is 47.5. Again, this is another one. We just talked about it. This is a sketchy spread. It makes no sense. Bengals, like you said last week, looked absolutely terrible. Chiefs handled a playoff team in the Ravens. 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson got the win. You know, Ravens were coming in looking for a revenge spot against the Chiefs, and they were able to hold them off. Does not make sense why this is only a 5-point spread, but I'm going to tell you some reasons why. The Bengals are 6-2 versus the Chiefs in their last 8 regular season games. The Bengals, however, at Kansas City in their last 10, just 3-7. Okay? Since head coach Zach Taylor took over in 2019, the Bengals have lost their first 2 games of the year in every year but one, and that was 2022. 4 of these last 5 matchups have been decided by 3 points or less. Give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals in the points. I think they're able to get it done. They may sneak out. They're not going to win. They're not going to win. Don't go crazy and bet them on the money line. But I think they are able to cover. I think it's like a 24-20, maybe 27-24 type of game. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they're going to get it back going. I'm not 100% sure if T. Higgins is going to go or not. Obviously, he didn't go week 1. If he comes back, he's going to make a major difference. Give me the Bengals and Joey B to get the cover. Scott, what say you?
Look, I get it. You can go through all these stats, what's happening at the beginning of the season, how many years have it
It's
been.
all about the numbers.
Look,
It's all about the numbers.
I get it. Hey, the Steelers have not beat the Broncos in Denver since 2009, and that's going to change this weekend. Just like Joey B is no longer the father of Kansas City. He's going to beat them. He doesn't have it in him. Here's what I think is going to happen. Joe Burrow, he didn't throw for a touchdown. He didn't even throw for more than 200 yards last week. They could not figure it out. I think Cincinnati is going to start to struggle. The Chiefs have a great defense, much better than the defense the Bengals faced in New England, much more dominant in every facet of the defense. In my opinion, their offensive line is better than the Patriots. I think they have a semi-decent backfield secondary. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to start slow, and everyone's going to be like, yes, the Bengals. Look at this. The Bengals always beat the Chiefs. The Bengals find a way. It's going to be close. And then Taylor Swift, the power of the Swifties is going to come through. Travis Kelce. They're wishing him well all week. He's going to have all the power. He did not look productive last week, and I think they're going to turn to him in this game. Travis Kelce is productive. I think the Chiefs easily cover here. We were talking about spreads being weird. This game, they're playing in Arrowhead. Don't forget. This is weird. The spread opened up at Chiefs minus 3.5. Makes no sense. Then the spread went up to 6. And right now on ESPN Bet, it's at minus 5. This line's going all over the place. I don't understand what's happening. I have no idea. But if you're going to give me the Chiefs minus 5 against almost anyone at home in Arrowhead with Patrick Mahomes on the team, Pacheco runs still like he hates the ground, like he hates the earth he lives on. Give me the Chiefs minus 5, minus 6, minus 6.5, minus anything underneath 7 at Arrowhead, and I'm probably taking it 9 times out of 10. Because I have bet on Patrick Mahomes in the past, and I have sat here and said, I'm not doing it. I'm not betting on him. And guess what happens? You're better off taking money out of your wallet and ripping it up when you bet against Patrick Mahomes at home. Give me the Chiefs. I think they cover. I think they handle the Bengals. Handle them.
So I just want to say real quick, because you mentioned that you thought that their defense was better than the Patriots' defense. The Chiefs, after week 1, granted, they played the Ravens, but it was at home. 458 total yards against the Ravens. That is dead last in the NFL. 267 of that was passing. That's 28th. 185 was rushing. That was 31st. 50% third down completion percentage for the Ravens in that game. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Joey B. The power of Joey
Look,
B.
say what you want. The power of Joey B. He doesn't have. Look, if Higgins plays, it might be a little bit better, but at -5, -6, give me the Chiefs all day. I think it's going to be close to the end, and the Chiefs are going to run away. They're going to make halftime adjustments like they always do. Andy Reid's going to have a burger at halftime and come back out there, scheme some stuff up, get Travis Kelce in the end zone, feed Pacheco the ball, and the Bengals, unless they pick up some star players and their team comes together in 1 week. Because say what you want about the Patriots versus Kansas City's defense, but the Patriots versus Cincinnati, the Patriots are not the same caliber team as the Ravens. The Ravens can get it done on just about any single defense they play, and Cincinnati played the Patriots. You said it. You said give it. It was the Ravens.
We'll see. Hey, I also picked the Patriots to cover against the Seahawks. So we'll see. It'll be a good talking point next week.
When the Patriots give up 40 and so do the Bengals.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Last game of the week. Last game, Monday Night Football. First one of the year. We got the Falcons taking on the Eagles. Battle of the Birds. Scott, why don't you start off with this one, sir? Finish us off.
Well, first off, what I'd like to say is I was right about the Falcons, and all you Falcons fans out there can just go on home. I saw what they did in their stadium. They tried to get little towels going, but let me tell you something. I saw a tweet. It said the Steelers could be 0-16 going into Week 17, playing a game on the moon against aliens, and we would have more fans on the moon than the aliens would, and that is true. So I think the Falcons, they're just not there yet. They have a lot of potential. They have some decent players. Kyle Pitts didn't look bad. Kirk, I think he might have lost his job. Kirk Cousins, it might be over for him. They might give him one more week because they paid him a lot of money. Let's see what Penix can do. If they go out here, which I think they're going to do, and they're going to get 34, 35 put up on them from the Eagles. If they can't score 21 points, if Kirk doesn't look more productive, I think they might look to get Penix out there early because you've got to make a decision. If you wait 10 games and then put your rookie in, you're putting him in a bad spot. But also, if you throw a rookie into the games early in the season and he gets destroyed, then the confidence can go down. So tough spot for the Falcons GM to be in and their coaching staff. But if Kirk doesn't get it together, I think you've got to look at your rookie QB who you took and everyone questioned your pick. You've got to look at getting him in the game. Hurts did throw 2 picks, though. So the Eagles are a little sloppy. But the Eagles at home, nasty crowd. The Falcons aren't used to these nasty crowds. Playing in Philadelphia is something else. I've been to Philadelphia. I've seen what they do there. Small children tell you to F off and squirt mustard at you. They don't care if you're a young kid, a mom, a dad, a grandma with a broken hip. They'll push you down the stairs if you're wearing another team's jersey. They are the city of brotherly love, not in the football stadium. Give me the Eagles. The spread's 6.5. Love them by a touchdown. They're already productive offensively. Barkley looks great. A.J. Brown looks like A.J. Brown. They got Devontae Smith. Their offensive line, not as good, but still pretty solid. Their defense looks good. They're stacked. That's why they're an NFC favorite. Give me the Eagles. They're the better bird today.
The better bird today. So I just want to touch on one thing that you did say about potentially making the switch to Penix sooner than later for the Falcons and getting rid of Cousins. So something to consider too, while the Packers are going through what they're going through with Jordan Love, wouldn't it be kind of poetic for old Kirk Cousins to go back to rival Green Bay and sign with Green Bay to make a push towards the playoffs?
Hey,
just throwing it out there.
All right. I love what you're throwing out. Real quick, we got to address something in the chat. We're talking about rookies. We just had someone ask, should I start Marvin Harrison Jr. or Pacheco? So we're talking about a rookie versus a year 2 guy. We're talking about guys in 2 productive offensives. But I'll go first. For me, I think Marvin Harrison has more potential to put up a boom game versus Pacheco, but he was open. I don't know if you saw the picture of him wide open in the back of the end zone with his hand out, waiting for a pass for a walk-in touchdown. They
Yep.
didn't even look at him. And Kyler Murray's comment wasn't the best. Kyler Murray said, look, it's not my job to get him the ball. It's my job to lead the offense, is basically what he's saying. So maybe they don't like each other. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Until Harrison, the rookie, can prove himself, I would give the ball to Pacheco, a proven fantasy player, a proven player to get points, a proven player. He's going to get his touches out of the backfield running, and Kansas City will put up points. I'm leaning towards the proven player, not the rookie.
Yeah, I agree. I think Pacheco's the play. But going back to Falcons Eagles, yeah, I'm on the Eagles with you. I think it's the Eagles here. I just don't trust the Falcons fully yet. Bijan didn't score. They used him in a lot of ways, which, granted, that's a huge plus from that. Kyle Pitts got a touchdown. Like, the Falcons are trending in the right direction. You know what I mean? They're finally using the offensive weapons at their disposal. It's just the game manager behind it all. It's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. We saw week 1. Granted, it's the 49ers, but now it's week 2. Now let's see some more tape. Let's see how the Achilles holds up. Let's see how much it really affects these guys. These guys are old. They're 35 plus. This is not a 25-year-old recovering, and he's back and he's ready to go, and it's not that way. So it's going to be interesting. So, yeah, I'm with the Eagles. Something of note, though, with the Eagles that I saw when I watched their game last week, you could definitely see Jalen Hurts has a major disconnect right now with his current starting center. It is not the same as when he had Jason Kelce there. That offensive line is still working out, with each other and the moving parts of it all. Offensive line is very intricate. There's a lot of moving things with it. You take one piece out of that, it can mess up the whole shift of it. So that's also something to consider moving forward, them getting used to that. I think it's only going to get better. Supposedly there's issues, though, with Jalen Hurts and the head coach Sirianni, so that also plays a factor in this game. I'm sure they're going to talk about it probably during Monday Night Football. It's a great game for Monday Night Football to start off with because there are so many things that these broadcasters are going to be able to talk about during the game, leading up to the game. There's so many different factors, so it's a great one to lead off with. But yeah, I'm with you. I think Philly's going to get it done at home. Navoski said in the chat right now, Saquon looked amazing. Saquon looked like he just got out of Penn State and he's ready to run through a brick wall, maybe 10 times.
He's got a new team, a better offensive line. He's got a better defense. He's got playmakers on the outside, which take care of the secondary, that takes care of crowding the box because you've got to put people on Devonta, A.J. Brown. They've got options. Barkley looks good. He's home. I think he's going to have a great year. One thing you did mention was talking about a center and a QB's connection, especially difficult when you've played together for so long. And Kelsey's been a part of that team, the leader in the team. The center is making defensive, scheme calls. He's calling right, left. He's calling out the mic. He's calling where the pressure's coming from. He's got to know the quarterback's cadence. He's got to have a feel for the quarterback. And Jason Kelce, Jalen Hurts' hand would fit right up in there. He had a little nook in his inner thigh there. He probably still has it. He can go see Kelce for Thanksgiving. Kelce can get down. His hand's going to fit perfectly. It was meant to be. But now they got a new center. He's not bad, but it's going to take some time for them to have the same connection. And he's going to struggle as a center to fill the shoes of Jason Kelce. So I still think the Eagles are going to take it, though. Like I said, the better bird. The Eagles, the better bird.
The better bird. All right, right on. All right, well, here's the recap. We'll throw it up there real quick. We got Lions, Bucs on the top there. Rams, Cardinals, Saints, Cowboys, Steelers, Broncos. We got Texans. We got the Ravens. We're both on. I can't even see that next one. 49ers, I think it is. We got Commanders. I'm on Patriots. You're on the Seahawks. We're both on Jets. I got the Bengals. You got the Chiefs. And then rounding all out with the Eagles. Hope for a good week here. We got a couple 4 or 5 head-to-heads. So there should be should be some movement, maybe potential that metal will be over here on this side next week. You know, never know, never
Mm-mm.
know. We'll have to see.
This guy right here is going nowhere.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, I appreciate you hopping on, Scott. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Navoski, Caleb, Gator Dave, Matt, Public House. I saw you in there at the beginning. Thanks for everybody that joined in. Great to see y'all. Thanks for interacting with us. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you next Wednesday night at 9:30 Eastern. Scott, anything you want to say before we sign off?
Yeah, I just want to say the Steelers are going to be 2-0 after this week. And that is really close to your 5.5 over under that you bet at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
I just want to let the people know. Remind them that you took that bet.
Thanks, bud. All right. So with that
See
note,
you
we
week
are
3.
signing off for